Hi guys, it's Michelle, and today's video is going to be a conspiracy Q&A video. You guys have been sending me non-freaking stop, like literally since the day that this conspiracy theory arose. I don't know, maybe like a week ago. You guys have been sending me this on every social media platform possible. It's been insane, and I wanted to talk about this, but I didn't want to do a dedicated video to it, because you'll see why later, and it's also just like, I don't know, I feel like it's just not enough for a dedicated video. So I decided about like, I don't know how many hours ago, let me check. We did like 7 hours ago that I'm gonna be filming a conspiracy Q&A. Send me any questions you have regarding any conspiracy theories ever. Let's chat, bitches. Because I figured that this would be an interesting way to talk about the theory, because I knew it was going to be asked a lot, and also to talk about any other theories that you guys want to know about. So yes, also I checked YouTube like an hour ago, and my friend Kendall Ray literally had the same idea as me, which happens often. So I just wanted to disclaim that, because people always like accuse me of copying her, or I don't know if people accuse her of copying me. She's probably too iconic, but I don't know. I guess we just both have like a lot of the same opinions and thoughts on things regarding conspiracy theories. There's nothing really to it, but I figured I would disclaim that because I literally checked my subscription inbox and I was like, oh my god, she did the exact same thing that I was planning on doing. And obviously, like, I tweeted it, like you guys know. I didn't see the video and was like, that's a good idea. Let's get into the questions that you guys had to ask. Brianne says, do you believe in the Illuminati? If so, who do you think runs it? I do, in a sense. I believe that the Illuminati exists. I don't think celebrities are a part of it. My face is so red right now. I don't know why. I don't have any blush on. Everyone always thinks I'm wearing really like a lot of blush, or like they'll be like, your blush is like on fleek, and I'm like, I don't even wear blush. I think the Illuminati doesn't really contain any specific celebrities. I think it's more so government officials. I've said this many times. I just think government officials make more sense to me, especially since I've been rewatching Keeping Up with the Kardashians. They like seem like a normal family to me. Like, I don't think the Kardashians are a part of the Illuminati. I kind of think it's bullshit. But I do think it exists to an extent. I think the government is hiding shit from us, and I also think that possibly big companies, like even police departments like the LAPD or the New York Police Department, like, could be potentially hiding stuff as well. But I think that also ties into government, and I think it could have to do with pop culture in certain instances. For example, like, I think Biggie Smalls like was murdered, and I think that the LAPD knows who did it, but they just were a part of it, but they just don't choose to solve it in that sense. So I do think that there is corruptness in a lot of things that have to do with celebrities, but I don't necessarily think that it's just a bunch of celebrities that are running this shit. Like, I just don't think that. Maybe they know about it, maybe they know more than we do, but for the most part, I would say I don't really believe it. I do believe in it, but I don't believe that it is what people think it is. I think it is corrupt and fucked, but I don't think that it has to do with celebrities. Aaron says, thoughts on mattress store money laundering theory. Okay, so Shane Dawson basically talked about this conspiracy theory that he thinks, or I don't know if he thinks it, but he basically talked about it, that mattress firms are like laundering money, which essentially laundering money would be like in the old days, it used to be like through laundromats, which is why it's called laundering money. I don't know if I'm explaining this correct, but I think that's like what happened. And basically they were like investing money, that like illegally investing money, and saying that it was coming from these businesses, even though these businesses weren't really like obviously making that much money. Like laundromats like wouldn't make that much money. And Shane's theory is that they're doing the same thing but with mattress firms. And I will say that it is freaking true that there are so many mattress firms. I don't know if I believe that they're laundering money. I mean, maybe. I don't have a reason to not believe it or anything like that. I just haven't really looked that far into it other than Shane's video. And I find it really interesting, because the tea is that I swear I didn't, like, I think I looked up, like, I watched the Shane video and then I looked up mattress firm one time just to see if there was like a line of them in my area, which there was. And then I didn't look up mattresses again. I've never looked up mattresses before this. And dead ass, every freaking YouTube video for over a month was only mattress ads, like on every single, and like even when ads are like in the middle of videos, like ad breaks, all of them were mattresses. Like, what? I just think that's so weird. For a whole month, I had looked up many other products that they could have showed me ads for, but they kept showing me mattress ads. And the other weird thing is that I don't know if my phone is connected to my computer. It probably is somehow, but I was also getting mattress ads on like Instagram, which my phone case is from Wildflower phone cases, if you're wondering. I literally love it. It's just like Cher from Clueless. Anyway, my phone was like getting these mattress ads as well, which is so weird because I didn't look it up on my phone. I looked it up on my computer, or vice versa. It was like one of the two. So I was like I only looked it up on one of the platforms. I don't remember which one. And I was getting it on both, like on Instagram and on YouTube, which is so bizarre because I didn't look it up on Instagram or YouTube. I looked it up on Safari, but I understand how that would be connected. But still, it was for like over a month. Like, that's bizarre. Zaina loves Can and JC, I think. K and J says, which conspiracy theory do you think is 100% true, and which one do you think is 100% false? The conspiracy theory I think 100% is true. I've talked about a million times. I think Michael Jackson was murdered, and it was in a malicious manner, and his entire family believes this, which makes me believe it more. And that's a conspiracy theory that I think is 100% true. Also, whatever happened to Biggie Smalls, I think he was murdered, and I think the LAPD knows who did it. So that's like another one I believe is 100% true. 100% false would have to be the 27 Club. I understand that it is weird that people die at the age of 27, and I think the only reason though that this theory genuinely pisses me off is probably because I love Amy Winehouse so much, and I don't think anything like malicious happened to her based on her story. And also there's a lot of false stories going around about the 27 Club in general, like the fact that they all had white lighters and they were all left-handed. Not true. Amy for sure was right-handed. I don't know about the other ones, but Amy for sure was a right-handed person. And also the white lighter theory isn't true because the like little Bic white lighters weren't even invented before Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, and Jimi Hendrix were born. So the only two people that could have had white lighters is Kurt Cobain and Amy Winehouse, and those weren't, like, that wasn't even said for a fact that they had them on them. But like, I just don't, like, I don't get why people believe that, because like if you just did like a simple Google search, you would know it's not true. Caitlin Jade said, do you think the royal family killed Princess Diana? I 100% believe this one. Yes. Well, I don't want to say yes or no, but I do think that there was definitely something up with that, and I did a whole video on it as well. I will link it below. I forgot I did that video. I really like that video. I feel like I really like got into it, and it was a super interesting story. So I love when like I find stories like really interesting, obviously. And that was one of them. And I always do this. This is such a weird ass thing, is that I swear it's like, I don't know if I'm like a psychic triplet or something, but like I literally always, when I think of doing something, it's like the next day something about that thing comes out, if that makes sense. Like, for example, the Princess Diana case, like I talked about it in a video. I was like, oh my gosh, I should make a video on this. And then like some documentary came out a little bit after. And then when I did the Jeffrey Dahmer video, the Ross Lynch movie came out, which I had heard about literally in 2015. So I knew it was coming out, but I didn't think it was like gonna be coming out when I did it. So like that happened. And then also when I did the video on Nancy Kerrigan and Tonya Harding, a movie, I, Tonya, came out like literally like they announced that it was happening right after I posted that video. So I don't know if it's just like luck, because obviously then it's like relevant, but it's so weird. Like it happens every time, and it happened with the Princess Diana thing. I don't remember what came out about it, but something did, and it was so weird. So I will link that in the description box below if you want to watch it. Pretty much the rest of the questions are about Malaysian Airline 370 / the voicemail / the Twitter theory / what you probably came here for. And I'm here to tell you about it. Like I said, it's been sent to me every day, and it's honestly, that's why I wanted to talk about it, is because I want it to stop being sent to me. But it probably won't stop being sent to me. But it stresses me out a lot. So basically, if you don't know what the Malaysian Airline Flight 370 is, it was basically a commercial airline aircraft that was carrying 239 passengers and crew members. It was en route to Beijing from Kuala Lumpur, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, on March 8th, 2014. Basically, while it was en route to Beijing, it went mysteriously missing somewhere, and no one really knows what happened. The plane was last seen on military radar at 2:14 a.m. close to the south of Phuket Island in the Strait of Malacca. So this was the last place that the plane was seen. on the radar. However, the last thing that was said on the plane was from either the co-pilot or the pilot saying, quote, "Good night, Malaysian 370, end quote. Which is a little creepy. If it was 2:14 a.m. where it was last on the radar, I'm assuming it was like a red-eye flight, like an overnight flight. It's just kind of eerie that that was like the last thing that was said, even though it was probably just saying like good night because they were like closing the cabin lights or something. But it was a little creepy. I don't like it. It creeped me out a little bit. Thing that I feel like a lot of people are not talking about with the Malaysian airline 370, it didn't necessarily like vanish without a trace. Like a lot of people, when I've heard this conspiracy theory before, I've heard that like, oh, like nothing ever came of it, it was never found. But it's not necessarily true. There was actually debris that was found from it. Specifically on July 29, 2015, debris was found by volunteers cleaning up a beach in St. Andre Reunion. It was confirmed that this debris belonged to Malaysian Airline 370. This was like a crazy conspiracy theory at the time because obviously May 2014 to like July 2015 is over a year later. So people, for a while it was disappeared without a trace, and obviously that's really frustrating for the families involved and like everyone. Like that's so, like I can't even imagine. That freaks me out so much. But obviously debris was found, and even before this it was believed that the plane had crashed somewhere in the Indian Ocean near Australia. However, even though debris was found, there were so many conspiracy theories surrounding this idea because it was like basically hearsay that a lot of the passengers' families didn't believe that this debris was real, and they believed that their loved ones are, quote, still alive and being held at an undisclosed location for unknown reasons, end quote. So while this is all possible, and I do understand that the like Malaysian airline itself is like suspicious and there was weird shit going on, however, I kind of do believe that it just crashed in the Indian Ocean. It is scary to think about because usually commercial airlines are pretty good with stuff like that, like in a sense of like, I mean, like planes are the safest form of travel. So I understand that the debris could have been faked and it could be not real just to like shut people up about this theory. But at the same time, it's also not impossible for a plane to crash in the ocean. So the black box was never found, and essentially a black box, something that's on every aircraft that basically records what happens in the event of an emergency, and usually that's how people know like what exactly happened during a plane crash. So the black box was obviously never found, because if it did crash in the ocean, it'd be kind of hard to find it. Essentially, a Twitter account called @straightaway tweeted that they got a voicemail from an unknown number. It sounded like Siri saying like random words. But these random words are like used in military coding, and it's basically like Delta would mean like the first word starts with D, and then like Sierra would be like S. Like, so it was like a really creepy voicemail. Just because Siri's voice is fucking creepy. Basically, this tweet went viral. Everyone was talking about it, everyone was freaking out, and a lot of people that were responding to the tweets were trying to decode the message, which was easy because it was basically just like the first letter of each word that Siri was saying, and it spelled out, quote, "Danger, SOS, it is dire for you to evacuate, be cautious, they are not human, SOS, danger, SOS, end quote." And then there was coordinates at the end, or numbers at the end, which people took and plugged it into like Google Maps and saw that it was actually near Malaysia, where the Malaysian Airlines flight could have possibly crashed, which essentially this is the only thing that connects it to the Malaysian airline flight. So Straight Away has deactivated their account. However, something that I don't find that many people talking about, because I think sometimes people just like to believe conspiracy theories even if they don't have proof, or if they have proof that they're not true, that Straight Away's boyfriend actually tweeted that the voicemail was a troll voicemail. And I genuinely believe that's what it was. Whether or not the Straight Away account actually took upon themselves to create this voicemail and have like type in their notes and have Siri like play it out loud, which basically sounds the exact same, or if somebody else did that and wanted to freak their friend out and they called them and Straight Away got scared and recorded it and posted on Twitter, I think 100% it's a troll. Now, how the conspiracy theory also connects to the Malaysian Airlines is that people believe that this is a recording from the black box on the Malaysian airline flight 370, and that they were trying to warn us because aliens are taking over. And also somehow has to do with Stephen Hawking dying, which Basically, I don't believe this at all because it doesn't make any sense because black boxes don't call people on the cell phone. They don't like they don't call random people's cell phones. This also happened in 2014. If a black box is underwater for that long, I doubt it works. Well, I'm not saying it's impossible, it just makes zero sense to me. Like, it doesn't really add up. Also, why, if you were in this emergency, your plane is crashing, your plane's being taken over by aliens or whatever, why would you take the time to write out a code? Because there's absolutely no way that you're gonna take military code and be able to say that all that fast, record this on the black box and send it to someone, some random person's phone number 4 years later. Like, it doesn't make any sense for it to be Malaysian Airlines black box. Also, that's not even what a black box does. It just records like the pilot being like, the plane's going down, like basically what's happening during the plane crash. It wouldn't record like after. Like, it doesn't make any sense for it to be the black box, like, at all. Now the theory also continues with the fact that there's been tons of Twitter accounts that have been created and DMing straight away, and other different accounts, and basically like copycat instances where they're getting phone calls too. And these Twitter accounts are basically saying that aliens are going to take over on April 18th, 2018, and that'll be the end of the world. You know, it's not impossible for that to happen. I don't really think you guys need to freak out or anything. There's literally like not anything to freak out over. If it is the end of the world on April 18th, then there's nothing we can do about it. But I don't think so. I mean, we always think the world's going to end at different times, which I hate when that happens because it always freaks me out a little bit. But this one obviously doesn't have any connection to anything. Like, it's not a random prediction by somebody. It's random, like literally random Twitter accounts just DMing people saying numbers in code and then letting people decode it for them, which is stupid because anyone could do that. Like, literally I could set up a Twitter account right now and like DM some people and be like, say stuff in different Morse code and be like, the world's gonna end in 2018, like freaking frogs are gonna take over the world, and like people would be like, like, that's just the tea. But yeah, that is it. Sorry if you guys believe this theory. I mean, you can believe whatever you want. It's always fun to like believe in theories. Also, look at my little Hogwarts shirt. That is it for today's video. If you guys liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on any of the conspiracy theories we talked about, but I would also like to know your thoughts on the conspiracy theories of Malaysian Airlines 370 connecting to these Twitter voicemails. I don't think they have a correlation. I think the Twitter thing is an entire hoax. But what do you guys think? Because you guys obviously might believe it a little bit because you keep sending me it all the time. That is it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram because I'm always posting really dope ass shit on there. Subscribe for new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I will see you guys all on Friday. Bye! What kind of